Hey everybody, today we watched the new Marvel movie, The Marvels, the 33rd movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
So Aiden, what's the plot of The Marvels?
The Marvels is a follow-up to like 8 million Disney Plus shows and has a bunch of Disney Plus show lore characters. It mostly follows Kamala Khan, who's from the show Miss Marvel, which is a Disney Channel original show for 9-year-old girls that's on Disney Plus, so it's lore relevant and you have to watch it to understand this movie.
Yeah.
Especially because the post-credit scene leads directly into the opening.
Well,
of this.
they've been playing it on ABC too.
Sure.
ABC Family.
And then you also have to watch Secret Invasion because Nick Fury's on a spaceship with a bunch of baby cat octopuses and a bunch of characters I don't know. And the Skrulls are there on a planet and they have a peace treaty that I assume is like a part of Secret Invasion or something. But the other characters, there's also Miss Marvel, who premiered in Avengers, one of them, Endgame. And she's...
No, she appeared in Captain Marvel first.
Whatever. She appeared in Captain Marvel. And her and Kamala Khan and the third one, who I don't remember the name of, Macy.
Captain Rambo.
Rambo. Her and Rambo also got powers, and you had to watch WandaVision to understand that. And you also had to watch Hawkeye because the end of the movie sets up the Young Avengers with Hawkeye girl version. And the three Marvels, the three Marvels women, not Hawkeye, but the other three, all get quantumly entangled. So every time they use their powers, they swap places. And some lady steals a thing that lets her open portals to the universe. And it's the same thing that Kamala Khan has. And then they fight, and then they stop fighting, and they the bad woman opens a big portal, and Rambo goes through it and meets Frazier from the X-Men, and he's like a blue cartoon man, and she's in the Fox X-Men universe, which is really weird. Yeah, Connor, what'd you think of the Marvels?
I think it's fitting that Jack was in this video because kitties are in the video.
Yeah, it's just like
Thanks,
the movie.
Jackie. You readjusted the camera.
It's just like the movie.
Good job, Jackie. It's
Good
just
girl.
like the movie.
Come here.
It's just like the movie, Jackie.
Come
That was actually set up.
Yeah, we trained her to do that.
It's not gonna look good the rest of the time, but that's alright. It's a little a little bad looking. Alright, wait. Yeah, there we go. I think that's it. Okay, what did I think of the Marvels? I thought it was a fucking mess because Marvel's quality control is non-existent. I'll be honest with you. Although, the trio of Marvels were sort of fun together. They worked on a group chemistry. Although there was some cringe in there. Mostly coming from Kamala, but she was kind of like the most entertaining of them. But sometimes they're like that last scene where she meets up with Kid Hawkeye is a little cringe.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, she was cool. She had some fun moments. I'm not gonna say like I thought she was a great actress or anything in it. She's fine, I guess, except for when she had like cringe. But I couldn't tell if that's just because Marvel was writing her some fat cringe to say or what.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Brie Larson, I don't know. She's not a great actress, to be honest.
Yeah. She doesn't have a lot to do in this one besides
solemnly
say
really,
I accidentally blew up the sun. Oops.
She's like, I blew up the sun. And then the lady who plays Monica Rambeau's okay. She's pretty good. She's probably like the best actress of the three.
Yeah, she's doing the heavy lifting.
But she's also the one they focus on the least because I think she's the least marketable. in theory.
Yeah.
But then you got Sam Jackson with a bunch of characters I don't really know from the stupid television Secret Invasion. And what I thought the main villain was Emilia Clarke.
In blackface?
In like so much like bronze, like that bronze makeup that she started to be in blackface. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
it looked like her.
Over and asked if it was her.
It kind of looked like her, but also kind of like, weird.
It's just some lady who looks like Fred Armisen in a wig.
Bro, what race is she? Because she looks white, but
Fred
she's
Armisen.
golden.
I don't know what Fred Armisen is either, but she's that.
Yeah, well, it was weird. The villain sucked. She had nothing to do. She's just like, I think the Kree have gotten a raw deal, and Captain Marvel literally destroyed our AI, artificial intelligence, because every movie has to be about AI these days. I mean, that's a real character from the comics, but still, she's like the AI computer, like 2023 American society. But she like smashed the AI, and then it like caused their sun to go out somehow, and all sorts of shit. And then she flies into the sun, and you're like, oh my god, Captain Marvel just like, she could have saved the Kree the whole time from dying horribly, but she didn't have the courage. But Miss Marvel gave her the courage to sacrifice herself. This is what I thought. She didn't have the courage to sacrifice herself. But then the shot keeps going. Because the one shot that's not edited. I'm about to talk about the editing, but it's the one shot that lingers too long. Where most shots, like, give me a second. She goes right through the sun. And the sun starts up, and everybody starts clapping, and they're like, "Wow, she did it." And it's like, yes, she did. Why didn't she do that shit earlier? Because the whole plot is that they need a new sun. Bro, they be needing a new sun. They need some water. How they're even fucking alive? I don't know how a sun goes out and your planet...
It didn't go out entirely. It just went really, really dark.
Okay, but Captain Marvel is suddenly powerful enough to light up a sun. I don't fucking care. Whatever. That shit was fucking dumb. It made no sense. But let's talk about some other things that were fucking dumb and made no sense. Like the editor not getting fired. Because whoever edited this movie, there were 2 times they cut mid-word. You know? There were 2 points.
There's a lot of questionable edits.
Like Nick Fury, like halfway is done saying something, and it immediately cuts to something else. Like they wanted to have the fastest pace ever in this movie, to the point where I feel like they just cut out scenes explaining stuff. But then it's like, well, so much of this shit's tied into the Disney Plus shows. Maybe if you watch the Disney Plus shows, some of this makes sense.
Yeah.
Which I shouldn't have to do if I'm paying to see a fucking movie in the theaters. Now, I always was able to give Marvel better scores and give them more passes because I didn't see the shit in theaters. Or I saw the stupid fucking Marvel shows that suck, and they're all a fucking waste of time.
Yeah.
But then, I didn't watch the Marvel shows, and it fucking opened my eyes to the fact that these movies are fucking incoherent. Especially this one.
Yeah,
I'm sure Ant-Man would have been pretty rough,
It's kind of incredible that the main character of this movie gets literally no introduction or explanation in favor of just being hopefully you watched this show for 9-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's Disney Channel original sitcom for 9-year-olds that's filmed like a Disney Channel original sitcom.
Apparently, the last episode of the Marvels Miss Marvel leads directly into the Marvels, which is really confusing because I watched like one episode of that show and I was like, nah. And then I canceled Disney Plus like a month later.
Yeah, we also haven't seen Secret Invasion, which I assume explains what the hell the space station
Nick Fury,
thing is.
he's always in space. So you're like, okay, he's in space. There's new space guys.
Sure, yeah.
I guess. I mean, it's a little fucking weird.
I know that Secret Invasion is about the Skrulls, so presumably the Skrulls getting kicked off their planet is related. I guess.
It was fucking stupid.
And then the one lady just takes them away and the Skrulls are out of the plot.
Yeah. Well,
because they'd be inconvenient.
The shifting gimmick is also kind of convenient sometimes because there's points where they'll be like there's one point where Miss Marvel says over the or Captain Marvel says, "Tag me in, Monica," over the comms, and then Captain Marvel teleports and Rambo teleports away. And so lets her get a sneak jump. But the powers, they never figure out how to change the power. There's no point where they're like, this is how we switch for a specific person, you know? Because they did imply in the spaceship that they could switch, but it still was seemingly at random.
Well,
but I guess they
whenever two of them
out.
use their powers at the same time, so if the third one doesn't do anything.
I might have fucking been taking a piss or something at that time. I don't know. But what if Miss Marvel was using her powers since she would have just got fucking splattered by this warlord?
I don't know. The place slopping gimmick at least made a few of the action scenes moderately more interesting than they otherwise would be.
Yeah.
Not by a lot, but...
And then there was the singing planet. There was a planet where they went where their language was singing.
That was some Ant-Man
and Captain Marvel's
shit.
like, you have to sing like a Disney princess and I'm a princess. I think it was literally inserted because they hoped that they wanted to make a meme that was that Captain Marvel was like the most stern Disney princess. I bet you there's some merch
Disney
out there.
princess, yeah.
I bet you there's some fucking merch out there where it's like Captain Marvel and a tiara, or it's printed and sitting in some warehouse waiting for that to catch on, which it won't. I bet you that's sitting in some Disney warehouse right now and may or may not come out, depending.
Badass Disney princess.
Yeah, something like that. But they really tried to make Captain Marvel more relatable, but Brie Larson, I mean, she was less shitty than in the first movie. I don't mean acting wise, I just mean like she was less of a pain to watch. But the first movie, well, this movie is more fun, is definitively better directed because they actually had quality control back then. The first movie is definitely boring and nothing of a movie. This movie at least tries to have some personality, but the movie fails in the quality control. There's some shit that makes me pissed off. Like a spaceship was on the ground and then it cuts to a very similar angle and the spaceship is in the air flying off. The angles were too similar. If they switched the angle a little bit, which I still think they broke the rule of 180 in a Marvel movie, but if they did more than like a 10-degree tilt and then we actually see the spaceship take off, but instead it's like one angle and then it switches to angle like slightly in a hard cut and the spaceship is like already taken off but it's like lifting off the ground, but like it's already off the ground when they literally just got on the ship. And because the movie's edited so fast, it's a really weird bumper. And I had basically a panic attack watching this movie because they were like cutting words cutting words off. A lot of shit was happening. The editing was really terrible. I didn't know what was going on because I don't know who any of these characters are, to be honest with you. I know who Captain Marvel is. I'm aware of Miss Marvel from the comics and the Avengers video game, but she doesn't, she's got the fucking fetish arms. What happened to the fetish? Miss Marvel making her ass big and sitting on villains or whatever.
Growing
I thought that was
giant
too weird.
And squeezing people between her toes.
Yeah, well, then the final thing is I know who Monica Rambeau is, and you just tell by the trailers that Monica Rambeau is just kind of there for I don't know, really. I guess it makes the switching gimmick a little better, but also just because they had her, you might as well. It's kind of the Marvel
some bizarre X-Men thing.
Okay, well, why don't you tell me something?
I don't know.
I'm gonna be like Vox right now, or Vice, and I'm gonna explain the problematic Marvel trope of the black sidekick. You got Iron Man's got War Machine, Captain America's got Falcon, Captain Marvel's got Monica, Spider-Man's got Miles.
Bilbo's got the Black Panther.
No, what I was gonna say is the Black Panther should have his own white sidekick, so we're breaking the mold.
Well, he does. He has Bilbo.
No, Bilbo is not his sidekick. Bilbo's
kind of
not
his
even
sidekick.
he's in the second movie, he's just sad. And guess what? Now you might say, okay, he only had one movie. He didn't have time to get his own white sidekick. Well, Bucky, that whole plan got scrapped because Chadwick died. Well, they almost gave us a white sidekick, but here's what they did.
Well, now Bucky is the Falcon's sidekick.
Not really.
Kind of.
He stands on his, but he's, kind of. But they're like, they were together. You have to have your next gen lackey who steals your powers, but is black. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
No. What I was going to say is they give Chadwick's sister a sidekick, but she's black too. What gives, Marvel?
Yeah.
What gives? That's kind of racist. It's like ridiculous and pisses me off. But anyways, I just thought that was kind of an interesting recurring trope. The clone black sidekick and the clone antagonist are the two tropes of Marvel.
This movie's got both.
Yes, it does, because the villain literally also has the bracelet and energy powers, which also brought another point up I was thinking of. And I was thinking this the whole time. Okay, first off, it's a big coincidence Monica also got the same powers as her aunt, going through a completely unrelated shield in WandaVision. Like, she happened to become a military lady who happened to work under Nick Fury, who happened to know Carol Danvers, who happened to send her to Scarlet Witch Town and happened to go through a force field, which happened to give her Captain Marvel powers.
Yeah.
And then, I could buy Miss Marvel getting her power. Actually, shit! Captain Marvel also has Miss Marvel. She has 2 minority sidekicks.
Yeah.
There's racism happening here.
She does have 2 minority sidekicks.
But anyways, my point is, that was fucking stupid, and their powers can swap because of that. And Miss Marvel has similar powers too, which is a coincidence, kind of, because she named herself after. Whatever. Maybe it was because the powers, but whatever. But the weirdest coincidence, or the weirdest thing to me is, if there's 4 people in the universe that have energy powers, and it's the 3 heroes and this villain, why is the villain not getting swapped? Because she's got the same bracelet, and she's causing the rips in time. So it doesn't make any sense. And now, I don't know.
I have no idea why she
She's like a couple fun scenes, but it's mostly just shit. Like, I don't think Marvel cares anymore. Like, it's just about dropping as much shit as possible. I wonder if Kevin Feige's starting to get embarrassed, like, watching the movie and seeing his name pop up that says the Kevin Feige production, and he just, like, sinks down in his seat because he was another stinker. It's not as bad as Ant-Man 3. Aiden, what did you think of Captain Marvel 2, the Marvels?
It's okay. I don't know. The main trio are cute enough together, I suppose. Kamala's a little annoying. Brie Larson is a little bitchy. The third one, it kind of just sideline a lot. The movie is edited badly, and there's lots of weird editing, like the 3 times in the movie total that they use like split screen shots. Those kind of come out of nowhere and feel very weird.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna do a combo in like a fighting game.
The movie, there's a lot of elements of the movie that don't make any sense if you don't watch the crappy TV shows, which is fucked up. And like, now that I'm on the outside of watching the crappy TV shows and getting like the everyman perspective, like, this shit's fucking weird. There's just like a character you've never seen before who's the central focus, and it just starts with a fight scene with her, and the fucking other girl now has powers. She was in the first Captain Marvel, I think, maybe. Or maybe not. No, she wasn't. Maybe she was.
Rambo?
No, her mom was in the first one, but then
The mom wasn't. I mean, it was different.
But
It
then
was the same character, but she was a little girl or whatever.
this girl gets her powers in another TV show, and it's very like confusing and weird to keep up with. And Nick Fury's back in the movies, but now he sits in a weird space station with a bunch of people I don't recognize because that was in the last bad show I didn't watch that nobody likes. And it's all a lot. It makes it hard to digest who's supposed to be who because the movie doesn't take any time to establish characters because they've all been introduced in things I didn't watch, which is very disorienting. Other than that, I mean, like, you know, the movie's okay. It's certainly not to the level of like Ant-Man Quantumania. It's fine. It's not annoying. It's not obnoxious. It's just kind of badly edited and very generic. And there's really not a lot to say about it because I just don't care and I don't really know any of these characters because they're not in the movies. And I'm done with the TV shows. I do not care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch Secret Invasion to understand why Nick Fury's in a spaceship with a bunch of people.
See, the thing is, well, we can talk about this in a second once we recommend. Keep going.
Anyway, Connor, would you recommend The Marvels?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. It's a Marvel movie. You make up your own fucking mind. You've seen all of them. You watch all the TV shows. Or you probably don't give a shit like everyone else who doesn't watch the TV shows and shit. So, base your judgment off the fact. I don't think my recommendation is going to change your mind either way. And if you're a Marvel fan, you're probably going to like it because the thing is, it's got charm. It's messy. It's really messy, but it's marginally better than movies that are probably technically better edited. And the editing is the worst thing I've seen in the MCU. Worst editing in the MCU, but in a relative sense, it's okay. Even though there's no excuse for how terrible it also is, considering it's part of the franchise that brought the biggest movie of all time, other than Avatar. So, Aiden, would you recommend Marvels?
No, I do not recommend The Marvels, primarily because I don't really understand what's happening in the movie. And I feel like that'll be the case for like a majority of people unless you happen to be keeping up with the bad Disney Plus shows. So no. It's okay, it's watchable, but like you're not going to get any joy out of it unless you've kept up with 8 million other things that also aren't very good. This would be average if I knew what was going on at best. I'm not rating it lowly because I don't know what's going on. It just doesn't help.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I feel like if you have prerequisite stories in another medium, I don't care if it's live action. I feel like if you make prerequisite material for a theatrical movie that isn't theatrical, you better really make that material unimportant. Because me, I'm not watching these shitty TV shows anymore. You know what Disney tries to do? They try to blackmail you into buying Disney Plus by tying it into their big movies and using it as leverage, but it's killing their box office. So they should probably quit fucking doing it. But hey.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel's changed post Endgame from a money grab to they found a new potential way to money grab it even more by making these TV shows. But I don't know. It's fucking annoying, dude. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about, now that we both have not recommended it, I forgoed a recommendation and you didn't recommend it. I mean, we gotta talk about what's up next for Marvel.
I have no idea what's up next. I don't know.
The next Marvel movie?
What?
You're not aware?
No?
By director Sean Levy of Night at the Museum and Free Guy.
Deadpool 3?
Yes, Deadpool 3. What do you think they were setting up in the end credits?
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau has to travel back through the rift at the start of Deadpool 3, and that is going to
Let
bring...
Deadpool and the Wolverine into the thing, yeah.
That's exactly right. Because Beast is going to make a portal to get him back, and Monica Rambeau will say, "Thank you, Beast," and teleport back, which will teleport Deadpool and Wolverine into the universe, and they can remix, they can add the rest of the X-Men, they can start the rest of the X-Men from scratch.
You're right.
You pull those two out, you get cameos from the X-Men universe as a goodbye, you know? We see all those fuckers from X-Men.
Yeah.
And then Wolverine and Deadpool are tactically lifted out of the Fox universe.
You're right.
Am I wrong? Like,
right.
How close do you think? Because Kevin Feige has confirmed that Deadpool 3 takes place in the MCU. And they have to explain how to get him out of the Fox universe, keep everything canon, and move him into the MCU.
Yeah, you're right.
So Wolverine is going to be fighting Deadpool with all of the convenient side characters like the Indian taxi guy and Deadpool's girlfriend, which they want to keep, and Megasonic Teenage Warhead and Colossus. And then they're all going to get sucked into the portal that was created. And Beast will be like, "No, we're just trying to send Monica Rambeau home." And then Deadpool will be like, "This seems like an asspull." And then they'll all fly through, and Deadpool will just take place in the MCU from now on.
Yep.
It's a tactical airlift.
Fucking.
And Wolverine is...
right.
Hugh Jackman's going to be the MCU's main Wolverine.
Yep.
I think I cracked the code.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
Like, I feel
All
like
I know
pretty
is
much...
that
Because they already paid Kelsey Grammer, so just continue to have him. And
when Blue Fraser showed up in this movie, it looked really bad because they didn't really try on the CGI for this movie. He looks really fucking bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm Blue Fraser from the X-Men movies. You might remember me from the X-Men movies and from Fraser 2023.
So if you have seen Deadpool 3 and this is the future, and for some reason you travel back through time and end up here watching my
I'll edit it
Drunkview
into the Deadpool 3 review when we get to it.
I will forget, but it's okay. Sound off in the comments if you live in a world where Deadpool 3 is released, and why don't you sound off in the comments if I was right, so I can be like, what? And then watch my prediction and say that was funny if it's right. Or, I mean, I feel like I gotta be pretty fucking close.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. There's no chance that you're wrong.
Monica Rambeau was bait. Otherwise, they could, like, transfer her back in Secret Wars, but I don't think they're paying that actress much. They probably want to have her tie into as much shit as possible. Because, like, they had fucking what's-her-bitch show up, Tessa Thompson, whatever character, Valkyrie. So I think they just casted the line to get Deadpool into the MCU because they have to pull a story reason to...
Yeah. Now, in order to watch Deadpool 3, you have to watch like 18 bad Disney Plus shows and this movie.
You'll have to watch 18 bad Disney Plus movies or shows. You'll have to watch... Okay, so here's what you'll have to watch. So to understand who Phil Coulson and Samuel Jackson are in Captain Marvel 1, you'll have to watch the first 8 seasons of Disney Plus of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, so but Phil Coulson appears first in the Avengers, and to understand the Avengers, so start from Iron Man and watch up to Avengers, and then you're gonna have to understand all the characters in Avengers Endgame. So just get all the way up to Infinity War. But Monica Rambeau got blipped, so just watch everything, right? Just keep watching, but most of the non-canon side stuff isn't important. You will, to understand the multiverse, have to watch Spider-Man No Way Home. So But for that, you need to understand that. Yeah. Wait.
You have to watch the first Spider-Man.
You have to watch all 3 Spider-Man movies, but you also have to watch the Sam Raimi and Mark Webb Spider-Man movies to understand who those characters are, because otherwise it won't be emotionally satisfying.
Yeah.
And then you can skip. Actually, you can skip most of Phase 4.
You have to watch Venom as well.
Venom does show up. You don't want to be like, who's this guy? So then you need to. Then we can cut ahead a little bit.
You also have to watch all the Fox X.
You have to watch all 8 fucking seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because the thing is, you won't understand Phil Coulson unless you get all the context surrounding Phil Coulson.
You need to watch all the Fox X-Men movies except for New Mutants. You don't have to watch that one.
New Mutants pretty much not tied in.
So you can skip that one.
But to get all the Deadpool they're gonna make a reference to New Mutants in Deadpool 3 and say something like, that one doesn't count. So you might want to watch that just in case for Deadpool 3. Just watch every movie that's ever had a Marvel banner. But mark my fucking words. After you watch 1,400 hours worth of content to understand Deadpool 3, mark my words. Deadpool and Wolverine are in a fight when they're trying to transfer back Monica Rambeau, and Beast starts a portal, and Deadpool, Wolverine, and his supporting cast all get sucked through the portal, and then in the end credits of Deadpool 3, Wolverine he starts a team of mutants because he creates his own Cerebro. And he finds Magneto, played by Breaking Bad Chicken Guy. And Breaking Bad Chicken Guy puts on the Magneto helmet and says, so you want to find some mutants or something like that. And then it cuts to black. Because you can only introduce one X-Men casting in the first thing for subtlety reasons. And then like 3 months later at San Diego Comic-Con, they'll announce the rest of the cast. So don't worry, you won't be in suspense long. But that's my theory. Starts in the X-Men Fox universe, they transfer over, and at the end they meet that black dude from Breaking Bad, who's Magneto, because everybody's fan casted him as that. And Wolverine, as Hugh Jackman, starts the X-Men of the MCU. That's my theory.
Okay, I'm done with this video. I have a fever. I need to lay down.